Kim and Britt Cook and Fit.
Today we're going to be making our eggplant flatbread pizza.
What's great about this recipe is it's not only low carb, but it's vegan, it's dairy free, and gluten free.
Okay, today for the eggplant flatbread we're going to be using the following ingredients. We're going to be using a medium eggplant. That's about this size. You can always tell an eggplant's good if it's brown at the bottom. Then we're going to be using some almond flour. This is found at Publix, Whole Foods, any type of health food store you can find almond flour. It's pretty popular. We're going to be using some garlic powder and then some salt and pepper. I also like to add some Dayia cheese, which you'll see in the toppings. You can buy that really anywhere, and Kim will show you.
Alright, and now for the fun part, the toppings. What we have here today is the pizza sauce, which is gluten-free and doesn't have any sugar. We also have some onion. We like white onion, but any type of onion you want is good. And we also have sun-dried tomatoes and portobello mushrooms. And last but not least, we have cheese, but this isn't the regular kind of cheese. This is the cheese alternative, the Dayia cheese. You can find this at Whole Foods or any type of healthy store, and it's actually even in Publix.
The first step to making the flatbread is you need to chop the top of your eggplant off like this. And then we're going to peel it. So can you hand me the peel it, please?
Sure.
Thank you. You're just going to peel the sides like this. Now we're going to be using the food processor. If you don't have a food processor at home, you can use a regular cheese grater. The way we need to get this eggplant at the end is basically into shred-like shreds.
It's basically just like almost a grated cheese consistency.
Yes,
right?
That's exactly it. So you need to make it skinny enough to fit into the food processor. So I will start passing it to you.
Now, if you come here a little closer, we can show you what it's supposed to look like. Now what we'll do is pour it into our little bowl that we have over here. I guess it's not that little, medium-sized bowl that we'll be mixing the rest of the ingredients in.
Okay, the next step is we need to take the shreds of the eggplant and put it in this cheesecloth right here. You can also get this at your grocery store. If you don't have cheesecloth, you can use paper towels. I mean, it's a little bit more difficult, but I understand cheesecloth is something weird to have. So basically you're going to take it and you can put some more in there.
Okay.
Some eggplant in there. And then you're going to wrap it like this. And then you're going to drain the water.
Yeah, it's really important that you drain out as much of the water as possible so that it's a better consistency when you put it down as your flatbread and it doesn't turn soggy.
Yeah, it makes it way more crispy if you can get as much moisture out as you can. Okay, now that we got the moisture out of the eggplant, we're going to start making our crust. So the first thing that we're going to use is a flaxseed egg. To make a flaxseed egg, it's 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and 2 tablespoons of water. So just dump that in there. Okay, next we're going to need the almond meal. We're going to use half a cup and then 2 tablespoons. So you can just pour it over your mixture right here. And then about 2 tablespoons. Okay, then I'm just going to pour some garlic powder in here for taste. I just like to eyeball it. I don't really have a measurement for this. And then finally, I will be putting the Dayia cheese, about a handful of it. Okay.
All right. Thanks, B.
You're welcome.
All right. Alright, at this point, I'm going to be mixing this. Parchment paper, we put it down on the baking sheet. This is very important. You want to make sure that you actually have parchment paper and not cut corners and think that wax paper is going to do the trick. This is one of those painful life lessons learned, so just learn from us. Don't use wax paper, stick with the parchment paper. Now, get this all mixture in a good consistency, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to lay this down onto the parchment paper. We like to make our crust pretty thin and we like it crispy, so kind of just want to push it out into like a rectangular shape.
And make sure you preheat your oven to 350, and we're going to pop it in there for 35 minutes. And then we'll show you what to do next.
I'm like, damn, I wish I would have got a manicure. Well, actually, it doesn't look bad.
Voila! Here's the flatbread. We're going to pop it in the oven. Set the timer for 35 minutes.
And boom!
Wine break. Okay, after your wine break, and while your flatbread's cooking, you're going to start sauteing some of the mushrooms and the onions for your toppings. So I like to use earthbound butter to cook, so I'll just take about a tablespoon of butter and put it in my handy-dandy plug-in skillet. Obviously, I know not all of you have these, so just use a skillet at home. And then you'll just toss your onions and your mushrooms in together. Then I'll season it with a little pepper, some garlic, and then throw some more butter in that.
This butter is soy-free too.
It's vegan and soy-free, and it tastes awesome. Okay, now that our flatbread's out of the oven, we're going to move on to the next step. We are going to take this baster brush and dip it in olive oil, and we are going to brush the top of the flatbread with the baster brush. Make sure you get the whole thing. Okay, now the next step, you're going to take another piece of parchment paper, you're going to put it on top, and then you're going to take either a pan of equal size or bigger and place it on top. Now since the pan is still hot, I'm going to use some oven mitts.
You're going to do the infamous fun flip.
The fun flip, because it's actually a pain in the butt, but let's just do it. Bam. Now you take the bottom pan off, you take off your gloves, and then you peel the paper off like so. Now the next step is you're going to take your baster brush again, and you're going to brush it on the top. Once this is done, you're going to put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes at 350. Okay, our flatbread's out of the oven, and it's finally time to make the pizza part. So, Kim?
Yes, this is another fun part where we're going to put the pizza sauce. As I said earlier, this is gluten-free and sugar-free. And just spread it around evenly.
Then we're going to go ahead and take some of our toppings that we sauteed here and just, spread them evenly on top of the flatbread. Now we're going to take some of our sun-dried tomatoes, and we also found some artichokes that we love on our pizza, so we're going to go ahead and add those too. And then the last thing we're going to add is our Dayia cheese on top. And we usually just keep it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until the cheese has melted. Dayia cheese doesn't really melt like regular cheese. but you'll be able to tell when it's done.
Alright, it's been about 10-15 minutes. Let's go check on our pizza. Oh, will you look at this? Check that out. Get an extreme close-up of that. Gorgeous.
Alright, Kim, that last step, we like to do this. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we put balsamic vinegar on the top. So just drizzle a tiny little bit. Oops.
That's good enough.
Yeah. And then we can cut it up and try it. Get some of that onion on there. I'm so hungry at this point, I could just eat it with my hands. Oh. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really good.
Join us next time on Kim and Brett Cook and Fit.
Best of luck, and put some comments down and let us know how it turned out.